Welcome everyone to another amazing live stream. As according to the YouTube comments, I'm actually a useless moron to the open source community, never contributed anything. Let's better do here some iPhone battery commentary live stream. And so this is my wife's iPhone, which, as you may or may not have seen, is a little bit expanding. And I mentioned this another week ago already, so this is mine actually. And I said it before already, so we had all of those iPhones, so even this one, like my 6S, was already 2 times Apple extended battery warranty swap because they are failing batteries. This also, and as you see here on this Apple website, iPhone 8 logic board replacement program, and the problem is I'm pretty sure I've seen recently on some news sites some logic board repair program for maybe 6S or so because of some charging circuit malfunction. But the problem is there are so many Apple defects and problems that actually right now I couldn't find it anymore. So that is, on one hand, Apple is selling quite a lot that you get some news, but on the other hand, everything is so broken and defects that between all the defect and bugs and stuff, oops, sorry, you don't even find the news anymore. Anyway, so here is just that people don't tell me, Apple fans and family tell me I pull the stuff out of my ass. Here you have one iPhone 8 logic board replacement program, and you certainly find a lot of others. So Apple has determined that a very small percentage, it's always only a very small percentage and a very few users, contains logic boards with manufacturing defects. And why do I say this? Again, I'm pretty sure I saw something similar to a 4.6S. Also, someone has this here posted. When was it even? The problem is you find so much random garbage. So someone else, 6S, developed a peculiar defect last year. Only charges with selected few aftermarket lightning cables. New OEM lightning cables don't work, and most aftermarket yada yada. And then he has found that the fortune of coming across 3 different aftermarket lightning cables that do work, but anyway, so his battery gets hot while charging and the phone will discharge from full battery to red or in a few miserable hours, whether you underload or not. And I only call this out here because with all the many iPhone defects that we had, I experienced, I saw personally and stuff like that, that I start to suspect that there's actually quite some battery problems. So all of my iPhone's batteries, and as you've seen, I'm now on a happy Samsung Galaxy Android user here for not making this up. But also a fun fact, the Samsung Galaxy, just my notifications, the battery when new lasted, so although it's the smallest S10e, right, the battery lasted 2 days instead of 1 day, what you usually get from an iPhone. So I wanted to call out this, as well as maybe the issue is also that Apple is just making the battery so thin and so small that when new it lasts 1 day, which in my opinion is super short. If you it lasts 1 day if you barely use it. If you use it a little bit, then significantly less, especially when older. So this is some cheap crap battery, because the problem is also I swapped the display already, not only once but 2 times, because the last time with this battery the display cracked also. So thank you very much for that. Certainly not spending too much money on those displays. And then the problem is I can't even get a new Apple battery. As far as I know, they would not, even if I want to pay them now, which certainly I don't, get the battery. There you see the right to repair and this annoyances with these vendors. Even if you wanted to, Apple will for sure now say we don't service this, or otherwise sell you a new display first for, I don't know, 150 or whatever that was. For that. A couple of shout outs also. So I brought you some battery. I actually looked a little bit, so this is not a paid advertisement, this is just some random crap. And I also wanted to point out that this is also not very optimal here, that, welcome Christian. So again, not a paid advertisement, just some random medium cheap crap. I hope it's, by the way, the right one. Do they say here something for iPhone 6G? I hope 6G is that. And what really pisses me off a little bit is although I rather, so this was not the most cheap for 20 bucks. And I also wanted to point out, what is this even? Wait a second, I have the feeling this is maybe not the right, is this even the right battery? 6G, I hope it is so. Because what I already, for iPhone 6, why is here this glue thing? Do you even need this for? I'm confused. Anyway, what I wanted to point out, I rather would have purchased a battery for just 10 bucks, which I often have done already, and not have all those stuff here. So in my opinion, this is also because Apple is using such thin and low quality and not long lasting batteries. Again, from all our family's 10 iPhones, all of the batteries had failed in the warranty period. All of them had at least one battery swapped, usually often twice. And yeah, when you buy this, the problem with this is, you see here I have already from previous iPhone stuff this tools, and the tools are really crap. And this is also a little bit of environmental pollution. I understand many people who swap this at home may not have the tools, but honestly, in my opinion, in Friday for Future and the plastic waste pollution, I really hate that I now have, well, at least these tools I can use, but I really hate to have all of this stuff double and triple and stuff, and usually they are really crap quality. Now this is hilarious. It's maybe should rotate, but barely does rotate. And the problem with this also is, I knew from this set, although this looks slightly nicer maybe, yeah, this rotates. I mean not, certainly they want to sell the battery, this is only like free, but certainly this also costs like maybe $1. I mean, certainly all of those cost in production in China 10 cents or something, my guesstimate. The problem is they are really not long lasting, and often you ruin the screws already using them once. Maybe I don't even use it now once, because, so the problem is, from previous experience, this is so cheap metal that you can basically only use them for one iPhone. This is also why I already purchased, because I exactly wanted to avoid this, and I purchased on eBay or Amazon or somewhere this slightly higher quality Pentaloop. Also, yeah, recurring theme here, this is really a dick move from Apple, that they use this special snowflake screwdrivers here, this Pentaloop nonsense. And yeah, I already purchased this higher quality, hopefully. Well, it's not the most amazing, but at least it lasted already a couple of battery swaps. It's certainly not made in Germany quality standards, but at least it's better than this cheap crap there. And on top of all of this, you have all this plastic stuff there, right? So I swapped already probably a couple of batteries on YouTube. I mostly wanted, first of all, hang out with you guys, because certainly I'm too stupid to contribute to open source. 20 years, according to the comments under the SG Octane, I'm only stealing others people's work, and I'm unsuccessful loser here. But if we already can't do open source and satisfy all those wired people, at least we can do a shout out for environmental pollution. So totally not amused about this stuff. But by the way, you don't even need most of this stuff for the battery, right? Okay, no, actually, right, you need both of them. Anyway, let's turn this off. But probably hope I didn't show it too much, whatever my wife has hanging around there. Do you need this? Well, anyway, and then on top of this, all this hard plastic shell, companies, why do we have this pollution in our world? Because all of this unnecessary stuff, instead people buy one screwdriver for their family that lasts a couple of years. They each time they buy a battery. And actually I tried to find the cheapest battery, but the problem is also the older the iPhone gets, the harder it becomes to find a battery with, well, a good battery and a battery without all of this garbage. Yeah, there's already something separating. Thank you very much for that, I guess. Crap. Let's hope here. Also, so this battery is already aftermarket. I swapped this out already, but this is also a recurring call out. So this also worked with Apple batteries, and so this battery, as you may be able to see, this was already a slightly better one. So this is not the cheapest. This Gigafix. So this is also a call out for, yeah, this battery. I need to check. It's not so old. I'm pretty sure it's not a year old. It's for sure only maybe 6 months, or I don't know, 8 months. But yeah, actually I didn't really wanted to use those, but whatever. Also with this environmental pollution, if Apple would, there you see this protecting with proprietary battery, wait a second, was this probably this one here, I guess. Protecting your precious iPhone battery with proprietary screws only, of course, lasts some months until, I mean, it's not the top secret stuff in the world to copy this, well, copy the stupid penta loop. So there are so many callouts in just one video using proprietary screws for no good reason. And then always getting this cheap crap here, which again, I don't even have this, so I've already 3 or 4 of these stupid cheap crap things, and plus a high quality set from iFixit. And let's see, so normally you should remove the display, which I usually don't do because we're feeling lucky. Where are these pull tabs, or do they even, maybe I even put it in without this adhesive because it's certainly not going much anywhere. But yeah, so you see hopefully that this expanded quite a bit. And so again, this also happened with original Apple ones. So before you say this is a cheap aftermarket one, yes, this is a cheap aftermarket one because I already, this got 2 free Apple updates. And yeah, by the way, again, you should not do it like this. That's the iPhone, but I'm pretty sure, most likely, a fun fact, I usually don't glue the battery in for that reason, that I already know that I need to take it out. Why are they, by the way, 2 pretty similar tools? We have comments in the audience. Code us, and probably valid reasons not to, but why is they buying Apple? Why not better Android? Yeah, so as you see, I'm not buying new Apple. My wife just, so I've already the Samsung, which, by the way, shout out, this is also glued right, so not that this is the super most more amazing. This doesn't even have screws and is glued, so I swapped already. This is also why this is a valid question, and this is why I have this super old 6S and I'm not buying a new one. I only have this for testing, so my wife is on an even older one, as I said here multiple times. So I only keep the stuff alive, basically, and not giving Apple new money. Maybe I actually should have used this dental floss. Yeah, you also see how stupid this is to get this out of here. If this would be more like previous time standard battery, then you would also not have to peel it out like this. Which probably, I'm not even sure why I didn't. Yeah, don't probably try to do it like this at home. Maybe I should actually get the dental floss out. Show you the dental floss trick. This is also why actually you should, by the way, famous last words before it goes up in flames on YouTube. Do I have here anything other useful? Yeah, so the Samsung also not the most amazing, so also a shout out there. If you want something much more repairable, then Samsung Galaxy stuff is also not for you. Maybe it's less fragile to leave it like this. So yeah, if you do this daily, you probably have already your tricks. Actually, I wonder, so the problem is also, I find it also stupid. This is, by the way, halfway decent on camera. I find it actually really stupid to glue this stuff in because it's not going anywhere anyway. Ah, damn, with this I probably sure. Did I really glue this back in, or is this just the residue glue? But maybe, not sure. So maybe this old glue, actually I'm not really super sure. So I will not even use, so you see this actually holds enough. I hope I only didn't damage the display cable. So this is also shout out here why you want to, most repair guides tell you to disconnect the display, just that I'm not in the mood for that today. Nothing better than damaging display cables live on YouTube. Also another fun shout out that, by the way, does it really need to be plastic wrapped? but whatever. I only hope this when it says IP6 or whatever. So I'm not even bothering with gluing the stupid adhesive strips in there, because why should I? This battery. So you see, everyone could theoretically do this at home. This is actually also saying 22% plus. I'm not really sure if this really will be like this, but whatever. Let's see if it still switches on. No. Only live on YouTube. Battery is completely dead now, or what? Or did I rip off the cables there anyway? Or is this not really fully in there? The problem is also you can't even... This is also really stupid from Apple. I mentioned this before. Each of those batteries has another form factor and another connector here. So you cannot even swap this, even if you have a second still. No, it wasn't completely plugged in. So you can't even, for testing purposes. Okay, now it switches on. So not yet damaged the display completely. So you see, it is possible to swap the display without getting that out there. We will see how long this lasts. You see, this has swollen, so probably can't recommend this. And this might also be a higher capacity one, or no capacity, 1810. Although, as other people already said on this YouTube channel, they are sometimes cheating anyway. Where is this? Yeah, so this is higher, so it's 2200. But again, you cannot trust this. They often print random garbage. And so yeah, that works. And this is also another shout out. So this is the original home button here for the fingerprint reader. And usually you probably, from Louis Rossman and Jessa Jones, you may have heard already this unable to activate Touch ID for this phone. That usually happens if you swap the home button from another phone. And for this phone it happened. So this is the original home button, and this issue happened the second time I swapped the display. So the first time I swapped this, everything still worked. Of course I left the original home button in for the security, right? And then the display broke again, because that's what iPhone displays do when people drop them to the floor. And the second time I swapped the display, the home button didn't work anymore. So I'm not sure. So it could be that this contact here, this contact with the flex ribbon cable that runs all the way from the home button here below the shield here down there to there. It could be that maybe the second time I swapped the display, the flex connector wasn't entirely plugged in there or something of that sort. And or that I broke it because it's also glued, because at Apple everything is glued. And then with that, which by the way is this here, probably that one, I guess. Oops. So either it damaged, or it was temporarily just not connected, and that confused it. I have no way to know for sure. And just a shout out that even if you reuse your, also this is a Philips. So even if you reuse your home button, it may sometimes not work, which in my opinion is really only live on YouTube. So you don't want to, maybe you want to use a second person. And yeah, so even if you take care and don't modify the home button, swaps original, even then it sometimes may not work. So super annoying, this Apple stuff. And I also want to remind people, this is not for the security, right? I mean, this gives you, there are not so many people of you out there who are Edward Snowden's and need this for the security. And even Edward Snowden, of all people, probably the last person who would use iPhone for secure communication. But even if you would, then also why this is not going in. So the people who need top security are not so many. And don't tell me that each person at home has issues with their home button. Also somehow why is this not going in there? And yeah, so for the security, it's like hilarious. 1 million people or 100 million people do not need. Actually, by the way, maybe I should actually Google which, if I swap this now, which is a long screw or not. Yeah, so normal people do not need like top security for not being able. I fix it. iPhone 6 battery. Let's see. Or is it or teardown? Just to double check which iPhone 6 teardown. So yeah, for the security, my S, it's not like KGB and CIA people deal with regular people's iPhone, and it's also not so if they want to spy to you, they just install a microphone in there, or they just tap the microphone. They certainly don't need the home button. Where is, I want the battery. Why is here step 11? Are you kidding me? Where is the... Do they not usually have... Why do they not disconnect the battery early on? Oh, there is something. But then they don't list which is the longer, darn it. So yeah, for the security, not for regular people. Is it even... But yeah, looking forward to hear what are your experiences. How long do your Apple battery last? Also, again, the shout out, Apple doesn't need to make those batteries so tiny. In my opinion, one day of first day unboxing, one day battery life is not enough. I'm totally satisfied with my Samsung that it has 2-day battery life. It's somehow whatever is with this screws here. Maybe this was longer after all or not. Is it not? Can't make this up. Only that is an issue with live videos. But yeah, regarding the comments, it's not entirely motivating either. If people have nothing better to do, to 20 years to open source all over the place, and then people write me on YouTube, I don't contribute correctly and enough, it's hilarious. Also don't need, it's not like I earn much money except Patreon, which is of course amazing from you guys. And somehow, what is wrong with this screw now? Can't mix this up. Or is this wrong? Was it? Actually, maybe I should check then if this plate. So wait a second. This is the wrong area of the phone. Also the recessed. I think I had it probably. Did I had it like this? Maybe I should actually. So yeah, leave me in the comments below what is your experience, how many dead batteries are you already gone through. Also, if Apple has, maybe they have a general, so maybe this charging circuit, just like the new ones, maybe just some people have charging circuit issues, and this is why maybe this is not even the battery's fault. And this is also the other video we have seen that what did I wanted to say? The other video was that Apple is hiding this battery health information from users with aftermarket batteries and stuff now. And this is also why so 3, so this is a longer, so the longer 3.3 that was correct. Just that maybe we do this one first then. And this is why I think it's vital. You can't even without the battery health information not even watch your third-party battery, what is wrong or how they are charging. Now it's in, whatever, maybe it was slightly misaligned or whatever. So much to yeah, also keep your screws sorted, not like we here on YouTube. Also you want to see that certainly. So yeah, could this have this in already 5 minutes, usually when it works better without making a YouTube live stream then. So yeah, actually it still looks relatively okay, although there was some gap. But so yeah, so now it looks decent again. So if your display is coming out, because actually initially we thought it fell on the floor. My wife was wondering, I didn't even drop it. Why does it look so strange? And even I didn't really realize it's a battery. I thought only the display came loose somehow. But yeah, if the display is coming out like this, then it is your battery most likely, as seen here. Oh, shit. Yeah, this, as I said, this screwdriver also not the most amazing, although I spent some $9 or so somehow. Yeah, also, but this is also the recurring theme here, this stupid proprietary screw shit. If they would use regular screws, Torx or whatever, you would not even have to deal with this pentaloop nonsense. By the way, you want to press them quite a bit, because if you don't press them in quite a bit, they snap over really easily, because this is just 0.8 millimeter pentaloop. So yeah, this small screw is not super amazing. And yeah, another amount of, yeah, again, Apple money not going to Apple's pocket, because yeah, no headphone jack, and I certainly do not support batteries. And a fun fact, so my wife is now on a Samsung tablet. She always said, no, I need an iPhone, that otherwise I look poor, so the reception of normal people. And this is why I keep so looking more rich with a 2 times display swapped and 3 times battery swapped iPhone. That is what but people probably want. So yeah, now I have all this kind of trash recurring shout out. So most of the stuff they probably use, I'm not even sure, do they use the same? Now I have so many tweezers and stuff here. You see this stuff keeps accumulating. And a huge shout out. Ah, it's also a spatula. Could have used this for the battery if I didn't even see it in there with this color. Anyway, so I also certainly, but don't probably need to tell this to you, I keep all of those, so don't throw this away. And yeah, this stuff is accumulating. Of course, we can use it for FPGA work and other SMD work. So yeah, this stuff keeps accumulating. This stuff I didn't even use, because why should I glue it in so much? It's certainly not falling anywhere. And wipes, wet and dry. So yeah, you see, they use this here also for the same set for battery and display. But yeah, but if you are a vendor of those, they're in Asia, please stop supplying the stupid tools, sell it cheaper and sell the sets here for $3 or something, because all this waste actually comes with a guide. So there's this battery, what is this here even? Whatever, you get the idea. So yeah, so much waste, although it's, in my opinion, more environmentally friendly to swap this yourself. But yeah, this mountain is of course recyclable cardboard. And also, yeah, pro tip, recycle all this stuff to the right bin. And yeah, some stuff left here because, you know, whatever. Also this, yeah, so that's it for today. No octane because people don't love it. And then, you know what, maybe if you think I'm not contributing right and I'm an idiot, then maybe I just don't do this open source stuff anymore and only, like other successful YouTubers, repair iPhone batteries. That is apparently what people like more. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this battery swap, how to, well, save the environment somewhat, if it would not be for all this waste. And yeah, another year or two that iPhone's not getting money for this iPhone. And until then, I hope I convinced my wife. Now she's on a Samsung Galaxy Tab also that she enjoys. So probably soon some Android for her. And yeah, also recurring shout out that not only all this crap and tools, but also Apple allegedly has here some design issues if they really cannot manufacture charging circuits here apparently. I also wonder how this small percentage of devices containing logic boards with manufacturing defects. Also, in my opinion, I said this before, Apple should really disclose more details, because what is this now? Is this integrated circuit defect in also, like is this charging circuit defect and they just don't say it? Of course, always Apple gets away with a small percentage of iPhone devices, yet each of ours, even the 6S, no shit, this is 2 times swapped for free by Apple, and the battery. And so each and every phone of us had this issue. It cannot be a small percentage. I have the feeling maybe all of those charging circuits are defect, but yeah, of course, for sure, Apple is not disclosing this because then they would need to swap more devices. But I really wonder what kind of manufacturing defect this is, that only a small percentage of iPhones are affected. And yeah, if you have any other data points for battery life for your defects, leave me below. If you have recommendations for a more repairable Android, because this is also not the most repairable, and yeah, I broke the glass already because I'm an idiot. But I will certainly leave it like this for a long time to come here, but more details to this soon. And also, well, some of the battery situation is certainly really not amazing. I wonder, so this really didn't last long. New recycling stuff because, yeah. And I also wonder with this electric cars, how amazing is it with Teslas and BMWs and Nissan Leafs and all the other in between. If batteries in Teslas last like this, of course they cool them and they even heat them in the winter. Fun fact, as far as I know, if you park a Tesla in the snow, then it's heating its batteries and the battery will be dead in a week or so if you're not driving. And I really wonder with the electric car future if we get the same battery situation there. And certainly that's super expensive, right? Swapping this battery pack at a Tesla might be 20,000 or so. Maybe we can Tesla battery pack price for sale. This is also some home wall power pack power wall for sale. It's probably 20,000, or Tesla battery pack module. So is it a full one? But this is of course from crashed ones. I'm not sure, is it the whole or? Well, I mean, certainly Tesla will not sell this for this. So, and maybe this is already partially dead. Is this 2 meters by, or is it just one module and you need, I think this is only one module and you need 6 or so of them, I think. Model X battery charging. Complete battery pack enclosure with 12 batteries, OEM Tesla, condition is used, ship with USPS. Parcel select ground item is on from a car that has an accident in the front and none of the battery gets affected accident. We have more than 5 available, and if you need a big lot we can get it also on a car, was a Tesla 16 with 14k kilometers on it. So yeah, I guess you need 5 or 6 or whatever of those, so that is at even use 6,000, and for sure I would not be surprised if Tesla new swap and service, I would estimate more in the 10 to 20,000 range. So yeah, this will be a really as green and environmentally friendly electric cars can be, at least locally in the city, of depending on whether you run it on nuclear or coal or solar. Charging might not be entirely green, but I really wonder what kind of environmental waste we get ourselves in there if the Tesla batteries are as amazing quality as the Apple ones. And yeah, anyway, that's long enough. Hope you learned something and see you soon for all the next stuff to come.